Hi and welcome to Back to the Tactics board with Edge of Play. In today's video we're looking at the 4-2-1-1 formation used for 9-a-side. We'll look at the features and the challenges you may face in this formation. Here we have the players then in the 4-2-1-1 formation. Let's start by looking at some of the strengths of this system. Well, firstly, you've got this strong defensive base. You've got 4 at the back in a 9-a-side game. This can prepare them for 11-a-side football in future. It's got plenty of cover and support, it's got balance, it's got lots of width. So you're giving yourself a strong defensive base there with a 4. And ahead of that you have 2 central midfielders as well, who can work with the 4, cut off balls, screen for them as well. So between that unit of 6 in front of your goalkeeper, you should have quite a solid defensive base. All in all, you have a very strong central spine as well up the pitch, from your defence to your deeper midfield, your more advanced midfielder and your forward. You should be quite hard to play through the middle of this team. Because you have that defensive base and platform, you should be able to give a lot of freedom to your attacking midfielder. They'll be quite crucial really when you're trying to build possession, when you're trying to get the team up the pitch so you're not pushed back all the time. Can they get on the ball, pockets of space, hold it up, bring other players into the match? Can they link with the 9, link with the 2 midfielders too? Basically, can they buy your team some time? Hold the ball up, retain possession for long enough for the unit to get up the pitch. It doesn't naturally lend though to long periods of possession with this formation. What you'd be looking for is shutting down space for an opponent, getting the ball back. Can you get the ball forward to your 8, to your 9, to link up together and counter-attack quickly, get at a team fast, to be quite direct in the way you attack, get the ball forward, get on it and find those passes early. As possession is gained in attacking transition, I think you'd be looking at your 8 getting on the ball quickly and your 9 making those big movements from there, really stretching a team. Once possession is gained, it can also be as well that your 9's dragging players away and making space for 8 to get on it and drive at a team. And away from that, it can also be, because you're in this deeper position, you can beat the offside trap with runs from deep. So in transition, this player may have dropped into here, but is then bursting out into these areas. Big dynamic movements. Between 8 or 9, I'd expect those big movements to happen on the counter-attack. Let's look at some of the challenges now that you may face using this formation. Well, first of all, it lacks any real width. You've got the fullbacks obviously, and they can look to get forward, but there'll be a lot of running for them to get up and down the pitch, certainly for a whole game. So beyond them, you've got no real natural width. Because you've got one striker with one player playing behind, you might have a striker making the early movements to give you that advanced width, early channel runs. The problem you have though, if you do play that ball early, is without 8 support or beyond 8 support, what support does that player get on the ball? What can they do with that attack unless they're going to go out on their own or link up with one other player? Like I mentioned before, your 8 being important for getting on the ball as well. I think it'd be the same to be said for your 9. There'll be times when 8's shut down by the opposition defensive midfielder. Can you get the ball to your 9? Can that player hold the ball up for long enough to get those fullbacks up the pitch, to get 8 into these areas? If you can't do that, then you'll probably find the ball's coming back at you a lot of the time. If your forwards are not getting on the ball, they're not having a day where the ball's sticking for them, yeah, you'll be under a lot of pressure for a lot of the game. A good performance from your attacking midfielder here can change everything. If they have that ability just to buy a few seconds, this player's moving up the pitch, ball's set back and then played in, you're getting some good attacks, good ball in box, you capitalise on a couple of those chances you get. All of a sudden then, if you have a lead, then this system could be quite good, because you've got the stability there to make it very difficult to break you down. But having said that, whilst a team might struggle to get in behind you, in transition, that's when a team might be able to exploit the space, because your fullbacks might feel the need to get up the pitch, and then they've got that big run to get back. But having 2 central midfielders, you'd think would be able to deal with that, in that they can cover in if needed. And because you're in a 4, if the right back is pushed on, you've got 3 that can still shift across. So you should have contingency for covering in that sense. And I think another thing as well you could add is that from your midfield, you may well be looking for big runs from midfield as well, either from one of the midfielders particularly, or one at a time might make these big movements. I don't believe you've got to do that for a whole game, but it might be an asset to your game at certain phases. What I'd say, if that player's out though, or even if that player is in shape, one of the issues I think you would have is either side of your midfield. A team might not be able to get in behind you so much, but if they can work the ball from one side to the other, they should have space there to be getting unopposed crosses in, unopposed mid-range shots as well. And you might need to be asking your attacking midfielder at times to drop in to allow your midfielder to get across and become almost a 4-3-1 at times when needed. Relating this formation to the 11-a-side game, it could look a lot like a 4-4-1-1, but obviously you've taken out the wingers from here, which is why it can put you on the back foot and you can lack width. You could also compare it to a 4-2-3-1 again without the wingers. So you're looking at how you replace that width, and so it may well be that you're relying on your fullbacks to either give you that width of a 4-2-3-1 or even of a 4-4-1-1 formation. Thank you for watching this formation video. I do hope you found it useful. For more videos for 5-a-side, 7-a-side, 9-a-side and 11-a-side formations, go to the tactics section at www.edgeofplay.com.